Hi friends, if you've chosen pile number 1 or the gun, this is your reading for red light, green light, Squid Game style. So we're going to find out exactly what makes people balk about you, what is their red light about you, or what is their green light about you. It's only fair. We'll start out with the green light. And for that, I'm going to be using the Good Tarot. What is the green light about pile number 1, please? Green light about pile number 1. Pile number 1, green light people, please. Okay. So the first card we're getting out of the gate is a 4 of air. So you are somebody who definitely likes to relax, I would say, a little bit. You make assessments. You think about what has transpired in the past. You don't jump into things super quick. I think you're a little bit on the brainy side, super sharp. You really think about your consequences. So I don't think you're a rash person at all. What else do we need to see for the green light? Okay, so you could be single, you could be really well off or well-to-do by yourself, or simply could mean that you are self-sufficient. You don't depend on other people to take care of you, take care of your own needs. You're also very independent-minded. Well, that's why you would carry a gun, right? You're somebody who definitely can take care of themselves in every way, shape, and form. It isn't that you're not open to receiving help. It's just that you can do it if you have to, and you often do it simply because you can and because you'd rather not rely on other people. And I love that. There's also an air of mystery about you. Very feminine, but by the same token, a can-do attitude. Like, you know what? I got this. Even though I may not know it 100%, I'm going to figure it out. And I'm very independent and well-equipped. So we love that about you. Let's look at the red lights. When people look at you or think about you, what are the red lights that they see? Red light for pile number 1, please. 7 of Swords. They could be thinking, you know what, if I get into a relationship with this person, they're super independent. They don't need anyone. You are kind of known as the lone wolf, and that scares people. They feel, and not that you would, but this is their perception. Their red light about you is they're thinking that you're so independent, that you have that can-do mentality. There's no holding you back, that you would straight kick a sucker down the stairs. And so what I mean by that is you'll kick them to the curb and just do whatever the heck you want anyways. You are that self-sufficient and that proficient, and also that driven. I don't think that anyone can tell you really what to do, and that's good. Oh gosh, I just got a jump card, so I'm gonna take it. Another 7 of hazards. Now this one came upside down. So I think people think, and they view you, and their red flag for you in their minds is going to be that maybe you don't really make an assessment before you do things. And I think that they're sadly mistaken. Okay, this is only the red light that other people see about you. Keep that in mind. And so I think that people can think that you're really hasty, but you know, upon opening the reading, that's not the feeling I get at all. I think that once you make up your mind, you have an agile mind and you're just quick to pull the trigger. Quick to pull the trigger. You're not afraid to make a decision and just go for it. You don't sit there and kind of contemplate the thing to death. You don't have paralysis of analysis, okay? What other red flags do people have about you? Pile number 1. Red flag about pile number 1. The Knight of Hazards. Okay. So this looks like somebody who is parked their car right into oddly enough, for like green light, a stop light. Okay. And so this person is, you know, perceived, I'm going to say perceived as going after something that maybe is going to take a long time in coming, and you don't care. You're going to do it anyways. So I don't think that you're known for immediate gratification. They know that they're going to have to take things slow with you, whether it's a job offer or anything like that. You're willing to put in time, energy, and effort into a good thing. And anybody who comes at you sideways like a scallywag is not going to have any success with you, because they know that you are going to put in your time and energy. And if they want like a fast outcome, if they want, you know, to fly by the seat of their pants and do things like that willy-nilly, it's not going to happen with someone like you. Okay, another red light for my pile number 1, please. And if you do like this type of reading, please do give me a thumbs up, give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Anything that you'd like to see also in the comments would be nice. Go ahead and put that in the comments and I'll see if I can do it. So, red light for pile number 1. 6 of Wands. So you make people feel insecure. You make people feel really insecure, like there's no hope. The undead are victorious. It's official. And so you have a lot of admirers, and when people look at that, they get really intimidated. I didn't intend for this to be like a singles thing, and it really doesn't have to be. It could be just really feeling intimidated if you're going after the same job as somebody else, and like, oh, pile number 1 is going after that. Well, forget it, because they're so skilled. They're so able and agile to do things that I don't stand a chance. I think that you cause people to give up before they even try, which is really interesting. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do another green light. And to me, that's a green light anyways, but that makes people stop in their tracks. So you know that that's not a bad thing whatsoever. It's just perceived as a red light for other people. You know, they don't want to compete, and they don't want to put in the elbow grease. And if they don't want to go after things with like confidence, then they know there is no hope for them in any area, whether it's friendship or romance or a job, anything like that. That intimidates people a lot. You could also be in the public light, in the limelight. You can have your own channel. You could be a creator. You could be famous, TikTok famous, YouTube famous, whatever. But all of those things really intimidate people. And that's why it's a red light. Okay, moving on to green light. And we're using this deck right now. I know you're shocked because, you know, we have Guns N' Roses, huh? But here we go. So those of you that chose pile number 1, what are the green lights for pile number 1, please? Show me now. Green light. Oh, we got 2 jumpers. Let's see what they bring. Okay, the Ace of Material jumped out upside down. And the 6 of Voices also jumped upside down. And so it seems to me that maybe that's interesting, because it's like they could feel that you are going to be really quick to leave your money anywhere. How do I put this? Okay, you're just really quick to make a deposit. Some people think that you're quick to do things, okay? As far as like invest time, money, energy, effort, and you don't think about it because you're like a fast acting person. That's the perception other people have, which is totally contrary. You could be like a mixed combination of like hot and cold, fire and ice, you know, velvet and leather. I don't know. But it could be that people could perceive you that, you know, they can progress with you. So I think you really confuse people, because this is a little bit confusing. The Page of Materials that came upside down is, you know, somebody who doesn't take into account things very well. And I think I think people misunderstand you, and that you could be perceived as having some like weaknesses, like how you decide to spend your money, your time, your energy, your effort, and things like that. So that's really interesting. And then we have the 6 of Voices, but it's reversed. And so what they see as a green light is that you can't let things go. that you can't let things go, that you can't move away from things, and sometimes that you can't speak your truth a little bit, but they're just really mistaken about that too. And so the thing is, I think that only people that see this as a green light are themselves going to be red flags, okay? And I hope that makes sense to you. But you don't want somebody who looks upon your weaknesses or what they perceive as weakness as a benefit to them, because that is a dangerous person. Now, the good news is I don't think that they're right about this at all. I think that they misconstrued you. They haven't really studied you, and they have, jumped the gun. Yeah, they have. So, what are the green lights about pile number 1? I'd like some more green lights, please. Let's find out. Green light. Here we go. The Two of Voices. All right. That's interesting. Okay, so you're somebody who will dig in your heels. You will stand your ground. They like that about you. You are not going to tip your hand and let people know exactly what you're carrying. Like if you have a lot of emotion towards something, you're going to protect your heart. You're going to protect your assets, and you're going to really weigh things out intellectually. And even though you feel a ton of emotion, you're not going to be swayed by your emotion. And that's what I'm getting by that. And you will wait somebody out. You're the type that if you're in a gunfight or something like that, you're like, okay, I'm just going to hole up here for the long haul, and I stockpiled my food and my water, and I've got everything I need, and I'm going to wait you out. So you'll wait out the competition until they have no choice, no recourse but to come out and be in a vulnerable place in front of you. So that's if you were in a fight. Old Western fight maybe, right? More green lights for pile number 1. Pile number 1. Oh, good. The World, the Cosmos. So another green light about you is that you accomplish things. You're a great accomplisher. Is that even a word? Okay, so you have the ability to soar and like elevate yourself. Not escalate, but elevate. You graduate from one thing and you move on to something better. And that's like your stereotypical line of thinking, as far as, especially in the US, we think we should have it better than our parents, and then better than their parents, and so on and so forth. But it's, I think, something that kind of plagues us all, is thinking that there's nothing wrong with wanting better, but instead of seeing like everything is a cycle and a completion, and it's almost like a test of life, and so we elevate our game over and over. And I think that pile number 1, you're somebody that you're viewed as, you complete these cycles and you elevate, and you complete another cycle and you elevate. So I think that people see a lot of success in you, even though you may not see it yourself. I mean, her eyes are totally hidden here. She even has the weight of the world on her mind. You could be like an environmentalist, somebody who is really in touch with what's going on globally right now, okay, with current affairs, or an environmentalist, or someone that works with like air quality or travel, any of those things. But every time you're just, I can't even see your cut above the rest. You are above the rest. And so pile number 1, when people look at you, you are the full package, but it is intimidating. I keep feeling that vibe of intimidation. Like you intimidate people just by being you. You don't walk around, being thug-like or anything. But people intimidate, even though it's like really attractive and it is a green light. They're like, wow, I really want to get to know this pile number 1. You're really intimidating. I want to say that. Okay. So another green light, please, for pile number 1. Green light. Let's find out. Okay, 10 of Voices. That's interesting. Okay, so you have the ability to withstand everything, even when people talk bad about you. And I do feel like you've been the objectification. Oh, goodness, I'm making up words now. You've been the focus, the object of people's desires, of people's words, of people's gossip. And people are really intrigued by you. But it's a green light because you bring about the attention of other people. And so you're frequently the topic of the dinner table, let's just say, or lunch, or if you have a group of coworkers, you're definitely the topic of conversation. They're really curious about you, but they're also quick to want to kind of cut you down in ways simply because you're intimidating. And the reason why, again, this is a green light is because your name is on everybody's lips and everybody is a fan, baby. That's all I got to say about that. There is no bad publicity. There's no bad press for you. And they can talk all the crap they want. But you know what? In the end, you're still on their lips. Yeah, I said it. Other green light, please. And that just wants to come out. Yeah, you have the ability to transform. You're not afraid of things that are like, you're not afraid of your shadow side. You're not afraid of growing out of things. You're not afraid of evolving. I think that you're aware that things need time to nest, to change, to grow, and you're willing to undergo those things even though they're really painful at times. I think that you could have taken a break from social media recently, or doing a break right now where you're not like readily available for other people. I think that you're undergoing a transformation right now. That's a green light. People are like, you know what, she's elevating again. What is she doing? It's a green light simply because you know that you're changing. Look at this moth right here. That's totally growing. And I think that mentally you are just graduating, elevating your game once again. We all know what you're doing. We all want to know what you're doing. And there's an air of solitude about you, okay? That you not only taking care of yourself, but you're elevating your game and you're evolving into something totally different. And you make no bones about that. And people, like, we're all fascinated. Let's not kid ourselves. So we love that about you. Let's pull another red light, this time from a different deck here. We're going to use the Santa Muerte deck. And I'd like to know a couple of red lights for my pile number 1, please. Pile number 1, red light, show me now. Thank you. Okay. 3 of Swords. So you are somebody that can be thinking about a betrayal, and that could be a red light to other people. You could be stuck in feeling that people betray you, that people stab you in the back. You could have, you know what, if your name is on everybody's lips, then it stands to reason that you've had some malicious gossipers or people that have tried to use you, whatnot. And you could really focus energetically on those betrayals and be super cautious. And so it makes other people think, well, that's kind of like a red flag, because like she or he's always sad, or they're always thinking about like potential betrayals or the negative side of things, or pain. Like you can't seem, you carry with you the wounds of war. Ooh, that was deep. Do you like that? But that's really what I'm feeling, is that you do carry with you the wounds of war. And people can sense that about you just by simply looking at you. You don't have to say anything. Any other red flags, please, for my pile number 1. Red light, here we go. So the 2 of Cups, I know that any connection with you is going to be really, really deep. This can really scare people, that it has to be an intense connection. If you look at these 2 little skulls, I guess, these skeletons are facing each other. There's an intensity, like you can see right through somebody's soul. And people know that you're not to be taken lightly, you're not to be messed with. You can see right through them. But also they're afraid, because when you come together with someone and you're that deep in a connection with them, they feel like they have to elevate and evolve. See how these 2 make a butterfly together. And so I think that that causes them to know instinctively that they're going to have to evolve, and that they have no choice but to elevate their game. And it's kind of intimidating. It's really intimidating, actually, just to be really real, because I think that your connection is really real. And you are not superficial at all. And people are used to living in a superficial world. So that is a red flag, if you will, about you, which I don't think is a bad thing at all. Look, another 2. So that is the Two of Pentacles right here. And then I have the Two of Cups of emotion. But it came out reversed. So they're afraid if they put like all that time into you that you could be investing time into another person. How I don't feel like, I don't understand how they would think that, but that's a red flag to them. And then also that you are perhaps carrying a sadness from an attachment to someone from the past. And here I have the Ten of Swords once again, and it is reversed. And so this is telling me again that maybe you've been the target of gossip, malicious gossip, a lot of half-truths, a lot of untruths, a lot of people that are trying to tear you down. And they can see that as a red flag. They're like, well, if I get with this person, or if I'm around them, or if they're my friend, it's going to put me in a position where I have to defend them or explain to other people about you. But you know what? You take care of yourself. That's not true. And frankly, if that's a red flag for them, then too damn bad. It's just really pathetic, in my opinion, when you obviously can take care of yourself. Now, this is the last card I'm going to take for it because it was already flipped the right way. So Queen of Emotions, and this is from your green light. So I'm going to leave you with this. I feel like you work on instinct. You can be empathic. I feel like you are always elevating, again, your game mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You're very connected to the ocean, to the tides, to the moon. Also, I feel like you could speak your truth. I don't think that you're somebody who just chatters. But when you talk, people listen because it is so deep. I mean, look at this right here. And your words are so deep, and they carry just an incredibly a deep message, or a way to bring people into a depth that they've never known before. And that actually kind of scares people, but it's so alluring they can't help but just want to listen when you speak. So that's what I have for you, pal number one. I want to thank you so much for playing red light, green light with me, Squid Game style, and I hope that you have a lovely day, whatever part of the world you're in. Namaste. Hi, pile number two. So if you chose the ammunition or the bullets or the magazine, whatever you choose to call this, this is your message. And so we are doing red light, green light, Squid Game style. We're going to start with green light, and we're using this deck today. And this is called the Muse Tarot. So, I'd like to know from a pile number two, green lights for pile number two, green light for pile number two. Let's find out. Oh goodness. So this is the second time this has come out. So we have the Death card. You as well are very transformative. And so what we love and see about you is that you have the ability to go in deep, allow things to transmute, transform, change. You're willing to withdraw from society, from the world, from maybe even social media, from friends, from gathering, in order to go within and do the work. You allow time for rest. You do it in private. I don't feel like you're like blabbing your mouth out there and talking about what's evolving and what's going on in your mind, nothing like that. But you're definitely taking your time, allowing things to change because you see the world is changing, and so therefore you yourself, you're changing as well. I do feel like with this green light that people are aware that you come from abundance, because I feel like all of this has a lot of abundance, a lot of different colors, a lot of reds I'm seeing, a lot of maybe stability, a lot of yellows. You've gone after your passions and desires before, that you have a lot of things. It could be material things, it could be anything. And so you're perceived as like this is a green light. You know, you already have enough. You're not looking to borrow or take from other people. And yet at the same token, they know that you are elevating your game and that you are willing to change everything if that's what things call for. And so we love that about you. We also love the mystery of you going within yourself and not talking about things. that frankly most people would not be able to stop talking about, because it's deep and transformative. It's like, it's almost like when you evolve and you're changing things that people won't even recognize when you're done with the transformation. And we love that. So other green lights. Green light for pile number 2, please. The ammunition pile. Let's find out. Let me take this one. Okay, 2 of inspiration. So pile number 2, what we see about you is that you have options and choices, but you know that when you look and see a land that's totally barren, that's devoid of anything that's growing, any greenery, you move on, you look at your options. You're not somebody who is ever stuck. You definitely have the ability to have that farsightedness where you can see everything coming a mile away and you make adjustments and changes as needed. We love, and it's a green light, the fact that you have a lot of options, or you're perceived as having options, and you may have a sunny disposition regardless of how things are in the now. Like, people can be like, oh, we're under, quarantine, or we can't go anywhere, or we can't travel, and you're like, yeah, but you know what, I set my sights on something and I'm going after it, and I'm doing all of the underwork. I heard kind of like working in the underworld. You could be like a somebody who does shamanic healing. You could be a shaman. Somebody who really goes into things super deep, and when the timing is just right, they pull the trigger, okay? Because this is the 2 of Wands of making decisions. And you look for what inspires. This is like orange, the sacral chakra also. It's like what gets your juices going, what gets you excited, what gets you motivated, what gets you up in the morning, I heard, okay? And also, this is a green light for you. So Page of Voices, you do your homework. You don't do anything lightly. You're not a fool. You're going to study. You're going to put a magnifier to anything that catches your interest, and you are definitely going to seek the truth and nothing but the truth and do a ton of homework. And it might be a little bit like hasty and rash. People might feel a little bit chaotic like that, but you know exactly what you're doing. You're getting to the root of things, to the bottom of things, in order to create progress and to progress the process. Okay, that was really hard to say, but those things are really attractive about you, and they are great qualities to have. So let's do a couple of red light. Okay, red light for my ammunition pile, please. Red lights. What do people perceive? Oh, hi. So the King of Hazards. Interesting. So people can feel that you maybe have a protector or someone around you that doesn't suffer fools easily, that they are slow to move on things, or they could feel too old for you, depending on your age group. So what's a red light is they could be like, well, this person's too young for me. What am I thinking? They could feel confined. They're not quick to act on things. So they could feel like, oh gosh, can I keep up with her? Can I keep up with him? Meaning you, pile number 2. You could really have people feeling bound up in their own thoughts, or bound up in like they can't progress because they're stuck in outmoded ways of doing things. But that's not you. So you could make people feel old, even if you're in the same age group. Yeah, that's what I'm getting with that. What else? Other red lights do we have? Red light for pile number 2. What's a red light for you? Ace of Wands. And so you're fiery, you're quick, you're feisty. People see that. And you're just quick to kind of you're just quick to go after what it is that you want, after your desire. You set your sights and you're like, let's go. And I heard that song where it goes, run. Okay, but anyways, So you're really quick to do things and go after what it is that you desire. And that can really intimidate people because they think, well, you know, have they thought it through? But actually you have. So you're just perceived as somebody who might be a little bit rash. Also, somebody who might go after their like sexual desires and things like that a little bit more than other people think they should. That could be a red light. And this doesn't mean you're promiscuous. This means other people perceive you as perhaps being that person. Okay. So what else? Okay. Red light for pile number 2. Red lights, please. Let's find out. And I'm taking these 2. Okay, the Empress. You already have everything. You could be protective about your creativity. You don't want any input. Protective about your home, your hearth. You don't want people to tell you how to decorate, how to create an enterprise. You want your creativity to be in full bloom. And you might be, you're perceived as somebody who clings to a certain way and they just don't want other people around to mess it up. Okay, but also I think that what's a red light about you is that you could be very psychic yourself, very in tune. You could get visions. You could be an empath as well. And this eats away at their brain. The fact that you can know somebody without knowing somebody is really intimidating, and that can prove to be actually a red light for other people because they, you know, it's like nothing like being exposed in front of other people when you want to have your clothes on. That's kind of what I have to say about that. So I feel like that they think that, gosh, this person can read me like nobody else. They know that you're really in tune, intuitive, and connected to the moon in the waves and the phases of things and the flow of life. And but you're super quick to act, and so that could be a little bit like it has them eating their own brain, I feel like, in this case. Okay, so pile number 2, green light. That was fast. Check it out. Oh, 2 fell out for you. Okay, so this has got to be my favorite card out of the whole deck. 3 of emotion, 3 of cups. Green light, they love to get with you. They love to hang out with you. Even the thought of hanging out with you is just super juicy, exciting. They feel excited, emotional. They feel like, wow, I want to be around this goddess or this god. They feel like you're in the flow and you don't hold back. You're a lot of fun to be around. You could be really gregarious. You could be mysterious. You could love to wear really dark makeup or different makeup than other people. Your hair could be a different color as well. But in this color blue, your throat chakra could be really popping. Like they just want to see and know more about you. They want to hear more about you. And all of these waters run really deep. I'm going to shut that off for just a second. Sorry about that. And so we definitely want to get to know more of you. We want to party with you. We want to hang out with you because you're actually very beautiful and poised. You could wear clothing also that's super attractive and form-fitting. You could have an athletic body, and that is definitely a green light, right? Another green light is that you appear to us very balanced. You seem to be like you get a lot of messages from spirit. We know that you're connected to the lunar phases as well, but you have a balance about you, and I feel like it's more because you don't speak about things very often. When you do, we definitely listen, but we know that you have been born of perhaps some hardship, some tough times. You could have, I don't know, I heard the word chola, or cholo, and so you could have had like a really rough upbringing, or been involved with gangs, or been I don't know, some type of a way in a lifestyle that was really tough when you were growing up, and therefore you know a lot about life that the rest of us would not necessarily know about, but you don't speak on it, but there are hints of it, like with your makeup maybe, or something about how you dress or something, but it's so like super alluring and attractive. We want to know more. We can't get enough of you. And so that is a green light for you, pile number 2. And what other green lights do we have about you? Green light for pile number 2. Okay, Seven of Inspiration. So you are someone that actually is holding open the doors, I feel, intuitively, like reading this card, for other people. I think for you're like pushing past family boundaries and maybe even generational curses and things like that, and you're viewed upon like as being really different in your family, like similar where you fit in, but so different that you push those boundaries and you crack them open and you allow other people to cross over into a different world that they've never been in before, or a part of the world that they've never been in before. So it really opens up our solar plexus, our root chakra. We could feel a lot more stable with you around because you break down those boundaries. You crash right through them, and you're like, don't tell me I'm not allowed in the tennis club and your little, little get-togethers and things like that, or your Italian club or whatever the heck it is. I'm allowed because XYZ, because I make myself allowed, and therefore my people are allowed. I feel like you're very very able to open up doors for other people as well, okay? And we love that about you. So pile number 2. I had to see where I was because that computer wouldn't stop pinging. But so this is your green light, your success. You push those boundaries, you've opened them for yourself, for other people. You could seem also to be like a diamond in the rough, but really just a diamond, because the more people get to know you, the more intriguing you are. You don't toot your own horn. I think that you have stepped through successes humbly, but pushed open the gateway for other people to step through as well. You could be a pioneer. You could be a creator. I heard I'm done with dogma. You could really like having those little like fairy lights in your room or in your house or in your special altar, whatever the case may be. I feel like you could be enjoying the limelight in spite of yourself. What I mean by that is you didn't seek it, it sought you, and you stepped through that gateway and just said yes. And that if that's not happening, we see that as a green light, then it's happening soon. So we love that about you. Green light. Green light for pile number 2. Let's find out. I'm going to take one right now. The Lovers. So you are viewed and seen that you have a lot of choices and options. You have a lot of options. People could be coming towards you with offers of love quite frequently. Even if you're currently partnered, they think about you a lot. Old loves, new loves. I feel like you make people feel secure and that you have a delicate beauty about you that is really alluring and attractive. That's definitely a green light to us. Again, the Lotus, maybe you've been through some hard times, or growing up you have been through it and you are now through the area of success, of abundance, of transformation, transmuting that power and bringing it into a different phase in life that you never thought you would bring it into. I feel like you could be viewed as having an angelic quality about you as well, and bringing peace to other people. And again, feeling like people are secure with you. Now, that being said, this is the other green light, which is kind of interesting. I feel like your energy opens you up to competition from others, from lovers, from brothers, from mothers. Like people want to compete over you, whether it's your time, your energy. I don't think the resources, we just want to feel that connected to earth, that vibrancy, that self-assuredness. Is that a word? It is now. You're welcome. We want to feel like we're in the know as well, and we just really appreciate the grounding that you bring us, the balance that you bring us, the beauty that you bring us. We love all of those things about you. Okay? I feel like you freely offer beauty wherever you go because you are beautiful. And I'm not talking skin, I'm not talking looks necessarily, but you're just beautiful on the inside and out. And that is a super green light in my book. Okay. Red light. I just want to jump out. 3 of Wands. Okay, so the red light is you might take your time on things. You might wait a little bit too long in other people's opinions. You might be like part of the waiting game. You're like, you know what? I'm willing to wait. I'm willing to wait for what I want. I'm not going to pull the trigger. And if people come towards you, let's say romantically or in anything, you're like, you know what? I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait and see how things play out. I'm going to wait to get to know you better. I'm going to wait to, and so you cannot be rushed. And people don't like that. They want to break down that barrier. And so that could be a red light about you, is that you make people feel impatient. We're like, hey, come on, pile number 2, we want to get to know you. But you're like, oh, slow your roll there. Okay. So pile number 2, my ammo pile. Another red light, please. Red light for pile number 2. And we're taking this. Ace of Swords, you are shrewd. Nobody can mess with you. You know all the ins and outs. You are quick to cut a mother lover down. You are super centered. You can look at the target and just cut through all the nonsense. So people know not to play with you. Your mental agility it's matched by nobody else. And so in spite of how delicate you look, your mental capacities are like that of a surgeon, and they know that if they come at you sideways, they're done. And so that could be seen as negative because they can't pull any tricks on you. They can't pull the wool over your eyes. You see people for what they really are. And if they come to battle with you, it's not going to end well for them. So they know that they can't play. They cannot play with you. Yeah. So that is a red light. Pardon the interruption, and we appreciate you opening up the world for us as well. So this is Spirit's acknowledgement, and also the green light that you really paved the way for other people as well, and we love you for that. And the last card I'm going to leave you with is also green light. And you are definitely empathic. You have a lot of abilities. I think your mind is always going. You're definitely connected to Mother Earth, the ocean, the tides, your intuition. You have the ability to pull us, excuse me, with a depth that is really rare. And yet I don't feel like you're even aware of that. You don't really put yourself out there in a manner that is a braggart whatsoever. I think that when people approach you and get to know you, they definitely see that as a green light, simply because you have depth and wisdom and knowledge and a warmth about you and a caring about you and empathic abilities that really draws us in deep. It's almost like falling into a deep, warm pool. And we don't want to resurface. It's just a really strange analogy, but that is an incredible green light to have. So I want to thank you so much. If this reading resonated, please do give me a thumbs up, like, share, comment, subscribe, and with that, namaste. So if you chose pile number 3, here we go. I want to thank you for joining me in this red light, green light game of how other people see you. And without further ado, here we go. I'd love to know what the green lights are for my pile number 3. Green light for pile number 3. All right, what else and what else? We have, wow, we have a lot. Okay, the first thing that we see is the 7 of materials. That is incredible. It is an ability to look out, take a pause at where you're at in the world right now, your corner of the world, of course. It's a way of conducting yourself. I heard the word methodically. I can't even pronounce what they're telling me. Okay, that's nice. But you have a methodical way about you to get from point A through point B, except it seems to people that you just walk through portals like without a problem. So the way you elevate your game, the way you walk through, for example, you could just show up at a Met Gala and be perfectly comfortable, and people would be like, where the heck did this person come from? But you belong. It's not like you didn't belong. It's that they're surprised at the ease that you just walk in and you own it, and it's not a big deal. And you're like, why would it not be interdimensional, and doing all sorts of things like that? It's possible for all of us. So I think that you, even though you're quick to make an assessment on what it is about your life and how you invest your time, energy, and effort, you're also really quick to climb through portals. For some of you, that would be time hopping. If you know what that means, that's great. If you don't, then let's keep it moving. That part would not be for you. But this is something about even being able to go through the past and the future, navigate that within your mind, and bring back the beautiful things. For example, the beautiful things of a time period when it was dark for you, perhaps, and being able to kind of decorate your life and create a life around it of abundance, of plenitude, of beauty. This is going to be for some of you, not all of you, the ability to turn ugly things such as, and this is what I'm hearing. I'm just going to give you what I'm hearing is one or two of you potentially used to prostitute yourselves in your younger years. Okay, this is not for everybody again, so please don't get offended. But that darkness, that period of time where maybe you're ashamed of it, or it was just something you had to do out of a need, or you wanted to, whatever the case may be, you're able to come through that with flying colors and indeed have even like a runway and a bunch of blooms just to really lead you into a new path. And you bring those experiences with you, and yet you're intact, you're gorgeous, you're beautiful, and you navigate those things in a way that no one can navigate them like you. I'm just going to say it like that. So I'm going to put my computer on like silent because it's just popping, obviously. Give me just a moment. I apologize for that. I thought I muted this. All right, much better. So I heard the word also intergalactic. So you may be a starseed, identify as a starseed, a light worker, anything like that. The next card I have for you that is a green light that we love about you is the Eight of Inspiration. Okay, and so this is about your ability to communicate quickly, to take everything in stride, but your stride, like one of your strides is 5 of everybody else's. Okay, we need to run to keep up with you. It seems like you just cause, like, I want to say a hailstorm, or I don't know, it seems like wherever you go, you're a trailblazer. Okay, I'm seeing this with the lines and with the runway. You can connect like from point A to point B, but in a faster way than the rest of us can. You're always on the move. Your brain's always on the move. You communicate, you're quick-witted and fast, and we love that about you. And also the way you evolve, it's like if we blink, we miss it. So our eyes are riveted on you, and that's why you get the green light from us. You may be a little bit of a sun worshiper or a sun sign. It doesn't have to be, but that's for someone. Also the ability to be the master of your own life, the conductor of your own music, so to speak. Like life represents a lot to us as in kind of like musical notes. And a lot of us have gone through really tough times with like sad music and whatnot. And you've had tough times, and yet here you are transmuting that. I heard transmuting that shit. Okay, I'm not trying to be vulgar, but that's what I'm hearing. You have the ability to transmute that shit in a way that makes the rest of us just shocked that you actually are willing to play the vibrant music, the happy music, the uplifting music, because you've been down dark roads before, and yet you're able to transmute that and understand, appreciate the beauty way more than a lot of us can. I think people see your fiery nature. I think that a lot of times people think about you that it's my way or the highway, but this is green light, baby. This is what we like about you, what we want from you. Even though we might say, you know, that's too controlling, it's always his way or her way or the highway. In the end, we want that. Maybe some of us want to be controlled a little bit by you. I don't know. Okay, but that just really attracts and draws us. Now I'm going to tell you that that little sense of like pull, that not even little, it's a huge magnetic pull. The sense of authority that you exude, okay, the sense of poise that you give off, where you can be like really my way or the highway, and yet gentle and just gorgeous and otherworldly all at the same time. That kind of has us confused. Like some of us get really mad at that, and others, and at the same token though, we're like, that's so hot. Like that's so hot, but why am I pissed off at the same time? We're so confused and perplexed. And so with that, I'm getting the two material, and that is just a form of juggling. Like you not only take everything in stride, you show off about it. You're like, what do we take everything in stride? I am the stride, okay? And what's green light about you that we love about you is that you can do that and show off. Even if you're not like perfected at the skill of it, you definitely can juggle things in such a way that you're like, wow, that is just showcasing your abilities, okay? Whether it's working 2 jobs or juggling a family and 2 jobs, whatever the case may be, you do it with flair. And we love all of these things about you. You're definitely like, I hear like showmanship, that kind of a thing. And you don't really care if you're dancing on thin ice. See, she's balanced here on a single diamond. Okay, and that was a green light. So pile number 3, those that chose the goggle, by the way. Pile number 3. What is red light for you? What do we perceive as a red light? Pile number 3, red light. The 4 of Pentacles. So what makes us pause and what makes us kind of hesitate and think, okay, red light, is your ability to kind of stuff your emotions down deep, dark, into a tiny little area. You don't share it with anybody. You'd rather go off and do your own thing. You might hoard your emotions, okay, the way this person's like hoarding food or trying to take care of themselves by stockpiling, however you want to view it. You don't want to hear certain things, and so you're going to plug your ears in and you're going to do what you got to do to protect yourself. So I think that you don't share a lot of your emotions, and that can be perceived as like a red light to people. They're like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Like you've been through so much and yet you don't share your emotions. What? Oh, okay, well, here we go. We have more for you that just jumped out. I have to learn how to like angle my cameras properly so you see everything that's going on. But then we have another red light. We've got the world. So I feel like, okay, with the world, the world's on fire. I mean, that's where we're at right now. And so what's red light about you is potentially that you can end things. You're like, next, I'm done with that. I'm just done. I'm not messing with it. I'm not playing with it. The situation's over. The relationship is over with. I will cut you off. And I realize that I'm ascending and I'll put an end to everything. It doesn't make a difference. Even if I set my own house on fire, it's over. That kind of a vibe that you put off, and that could be a little bit intimidating. It's very strong. The woman that can burn down her own house in order to get rid of a problem, now that's a special kind of person. Okay, so maybe you're seen as a little bit of a crazy. I don't want to be like crazy, not like in a bad way, but you're just a little bit like a wild card. Like we don't know what to expect from you, and that can make us go, whoa, I don't really know. I mean, are we okay? I'm a little bit confounded. So the next that can make people see red light in you is the 8 of Hazards, and that is all about studying. You are a deep person. You're not one to take things lightly whatsoever, and you're definitely somebody who is going to take their time. You're going to study. You're going to look at things in a different way than other people do, perhaps, and we get intimidated by that because you know what, there's no end to how much you're going to study a situation and learn from it and glean from it and even transmute and evolve. And so you could constantly be changing, and that could be potentially a red light to people because they're like, why is he changing so much? Why does she change so much? Like it could be from what you wear, from your attire, and all the way up until and beyond you know, how you behave or how you project yourself to be out in the world. And so those things can be a little bit like, whoa, what's going on with this person? And that could be a red light for sure. for some people. I don't think of it that way, but you know, some people. Yeah, and so here, look, I'm going to give you, this is from my red light pack as well. For today, we're calling it red light pack. And so you have the star. I think that you're highly pedestal, highly desirable, and lots of people know that. But guess what? It's a red light for us. We're like, red light, everybody wants her, everybody wants him. And they're highly decorated. You're highly decorated, or people really admire you, they pedestal you, and they continue thinking along those lines. They anchor their thoughts on what a beautiful star you are. And so that in itself is really intimidating. I'm going to leave that out there because it really fits to the vibe of what's currently going on. Now, as you can see, the red light is not even necessarily a bad thing. It's a red light. It makes people like stop and go, you know, can I handle this? I don't know if I can handle this. But let's see what else we need to know. I mean, when your red lights are actually green lights, only the brave can contend with you. I'm going to say that. Only the brave, and it's not that you're intimidating. It's that I just heard, I don't give an F. I don't give a, you know what. So you may not care what people think, and that's what gives people cause for concern, because they don't really know. It's like, well, if you're that unpredictable, how can I, you know, how can I be safe? Can I, how do I know you're not going to just dump me or whatever? All of those things, which is kind of interesting, but it could give people a pause for concern. So let's go ahead and do green light for my Gobbles pile number 3. What's a green light about being? You know what? You're willing to take chances. You're willing to take chances, take risks. You don't care. Ultimately, I feel like you have a really pure soul, and you have a desire to do what is right by you, by your own ethics, your own code of honor. I feel like you do have a really high sense of integrity that's not even unusual. It's unseen in this world, and that's intimidating to us. So even though this is coming up as the green light, other people have to try to reach you, and in order to attain that caliber of purity, of single-minded, like this is the right thing and this is what I'm going to do, it's really difficult to match that. And so it's definitely a green light. Like, we look and admire all of this about you, and yet by the same token, it is intimidating. But we love that purity. We love to see that you don't really care what other people think, that you're going to do you. Even when it gets tough, even when it's easier to lie, to cheat, to steal, to bamboozle, to kind of stay under the radar, you're going to do right by your own code of ethics, your own code of honor. And you're going to continue your own path. And that's something that really shines and radiates about you, that the rest of us just look at, and we're in awe of that, honestly. So what else? Green light for my pile number 3, please. Green lights for pile number 3. Green light. The Knight of Voices. I love this card as well. Now, there's something really sharp about you. Not only are you extremely intellectual, very creative, I feel, maybe a little bit dramatic, some people feel, but you can just really cut through the chase, cut through the quick, act on impulse sometimes, but you're committed. When you know it's the right thing, it may appear as impulsive, but you're definitely committed to your cause. Look at the Pegasus. This horse can either run or fly. And I think that you have so many different talents that are visible to the rest of us that we're like, hell yeah. I mean, that person's got it going on. They're multi-talented for sure. They rise above the rest easily. I think that you have some prestige that you don't even know about. I think that you might be a little bit of a sun worshiper, or really have a deep connection with the sun. I do feel like you can see things from a higher point of view than other people. And I think that the way that you do things sometimes confuses people, but it creates like an excitement, kind of like, wow, you could have just taken the easy way out. This horse could have just, ran instead of flying, or vice versa. And yet you catch people off guard constantly. You keep them in a state of guessing, like your motives are nebulous. in your quest for truth, for what is clear, what is right, what is divine, what is heavenly. In your vision, it leaves other people kind of confused and we want to follow, but I mean, how many of us can run and fly at the same time? Not many, right? So that's what we love about thee. Now, if you're liking this Squid Game pick a card style, please do give me a thumbs up, or if this reading resonates, give me a thumbs up. Please do like, share, comment, subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And final thoughts about green light for pile number 3. Green light for pile number 3. 3 of materials, yes. Extremely, you know what? The more creative that you are, the more we are attracted. We're like little bees. We can't stay away from the flower, and you're the flower. We just continually want to be around you, want to be all over you. Take that however it is intended. I do feel like people look at you like they physically want to be all over you. They're like, I'm all up on that. I think that your ability to create cooperation, to create excitement, and to create creatively leaves people just kind of in awe. They want to imitate that, but you use it as a ladder to elevate yourself. And even though other people may imitate or try to steal your ideas, you continually evolve and you're changing, and you're like, you know what, that was yesterday's news anyways, how about it next? So you don't care. You don't look back. You don't look behind. You don't you know that there are no do-overs, and so you're perfectly happy leaping from one thing to another and climbing that excitement and that I don't know. I still think that it's steadfast. It like creates and generates money for you as well. So whatever this is, you could be in the creative arts. You could be a painter, a drawer. Is that a word? No. Somebody who can draw. You can be in the dramatic arts and the fine arts as well. You could be a fashion designer, a fashionista. You could love to wear makeup, wear kind of radically out there clothes. In other words, you could be into pleather, into leather, into rubber, any of those things. And you can actually mix and match, and you do some like, I don't know, some like rubber latex clothing with, you know, I don't know, stiletto heels and spikes and who knows, that kind of a thing. So you're not afraid to mix it up. You follow your own rules, and the rule that you follow is be creative, enjoy life, let everything bloom within its own time. And there are no rules in your book. So that is super alluring and attractive, especially in a dark world where everybody is so cookie cutter. You are definitely a free thinker, and once again, a trailblazer. I heard powerful, really powerful, and you're not even aware of it. So I love that about you. That is a great part about you. And so there you have it. Pile 3 with the goggles. Thank you so much for participating, and namaste.